Hello everybody, and welcome back to One Nerd to Rule Them All. And in today's video, we are going to be unpacking a little bit more fantasy lore, as we try to answer the question why the Fellowship had to fail to succeed. Anyway, we have a lot to uncover, so let's get into the video. When Frodo set out for Rivendell with 8 companions, they were united by purpose, but destined for separation. The Fellowship was never meant to last, because it had to fail for Middle-earth to survive. The Fellowship was formed at the Council of Elrond in Rivendell. 9 companions, 4 hobbits, 2 men, a dwarf and an elf, as well as a wizard. Their mission? To escort the Ring-bearer to Mount Doom. On the surface, they were a military escort, but symbolically, they were something greater, representative of the free peoples of Middle-earth, united in the face of darkness. As Elrond put it, "You will meet many foes, some open and some disguised, and you may find friends upon your way when you least look for it." But Elrond also made it clear, the company of the ring shall be 9, and the 9 walkers shall be set against the 9 riders that are evil. This wasn't about defeating Sauron through brute strength, but it was about resisting corruption, and that required something much more delicate than force. Let's look at the ring's corruption and the inevitability of division. The One Ring is not just a tool, it is a trap. It corrupts, seduces, and magnifies the worst in everyone. Boromir's fall is the most obvious, but the seeds were always there. Tolkien writes in The Fellowship of the Ring, "It is perilous to study too deeply the arts of the enemy, for good or for ill." No one, not even Gandalf or Galadriel, believed they could bear the ring safely. The Fellowship was never about carrying the ring as a group the whole way. It was about giving Frodo the strength to start the journey. As Frodo says, "I will take the ring, though I do not know the way." The Fellowship empowered him to take that step, but beyond that, it had to dissolve. The closer they got to Mordor, the more dangerous unity became. Now let's look at strategic failure and spiritual success. When the Fellowship breaks at Amon Hen, it feels like defeat. Boromir is dead, Merry and Pippin are captured, and Frodo and Sam vanish into the wilderness. But zooming out, it is clear that this is when the real quest begins. Boromir's death redeems him and inspires Aragorn to rise as a leader. Merry and Pippin's captivity puts them in the path of Treebeard and the Ents, who would have never entered the war otherwise. Gimli and Legolas, enemies by birth, forge an unbreakable friendship, symbolising unity beyond old grudges. And Frodo and Sam, their isolation is what saves them. Any larger group would attract the eye of Sauron. Only in secrecy could the ring be destroyed. As Tolkien put in a letter to a fan, letter 156, the breaking of the Fellowship was as much a part of the design as the making of it. Frodo needed to be alone, with Sam, his grounding force, because only in solitude could he resist the ring as long as he did. Let's look at province and not power. The Fellowship's breakup was a catastrophe, but it's actually divine province. As Gandalf says, "Even Gollum may have something yet to do. My heart tells me that he has some part to play for good or ill before the end." It is not strategy that wins the war, it's mercy, pity, and chance. Frodo fails at the final moment, but it is Gollum, driven by his obsession, guided by Providence, who destroys the ring, along with himself. Had the Fellowship stayed together, they might have tried to fight their way into Mordor, or steal the ring from Frodo, or fallen to the Eye. Instead, they scattered, and each fragment of the Fellowship helped shift the balance. As Tolkien wrote in The Return of the King, "It is not our part to master all the tides of the world, but to do what is in us for the successor of those years wherein we are set." Unity through separation. In the end, the Fellowship didn't succeed by staying together, but they stayed true to their purpose even apart. Their failure was their salvation. The bond forged in Rivendell held strong, even when the path led far and wide, and through that brokenness, each member found a purpose greater than themselves. The Fellowship's breakup wasn't the end of the quest, it was the beginning of the real journey. That's the genius of Tolkien. Success isn't found in strength, but in sacrifice, not in unity of body, but unity of spirit. That is it for this video. If this breakdown helped you see the Fellowship's journey in a new light, drop a comment down below, and which member's character arc resonated the most with you. Down in the description below, you will find 2 links. The first to my partner Rothmer's channel, so if you enjoy MMOs and action RPGs, then you might want to give that a watch. And if you enjoy all things Warhammer, then might I recommend giving our channel Nerdy Miniatures a watch as well. At the moment, we are building and painting, but we will soon be battling both our Warhammer armies and our Middle-earth armies against each other, so stay tuned for that. That will be it from me today, and as always, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye guys.